So my friend Grunk has done posted on my video, made a response, the whole 9 yards, and he thinks I'm wrong. Maybe I am. Why don't we just review the reasons that I'm saying that we shouldn't participate in this election or really participate with the government? And let's see what I'm really talking about, huh? Now, one of the first things that always seems to come up is America was founded on Christian values. Really? Because one of the first things people want to throw in my face is Romans 13 and say, oh, you must obey the rule of law. Well, for one thing, refusing to vote is not against the law. But a rebellion would be, which I don't endorse. However, America did rebel against the King of England, King George III. Don't preach to me about history and what people said when the fruit of the nation was bloodshed, rebellion. Now you could say, oh, Chris, but they rebelled for religious freedom. Yeah, okay. At the time, there was a healthy mix of denominations within America. And the fact is, whatever oppression they thought they were under religiously, Jesus dealt with a lot worse than that. Now, yes, we're not Jesus Christ, but the apostles and the disciples of the apostles, all the way up to the 4th century, when Constantine made Christianity the state religion, they dealt with persecution far worse than England ever put on the American colonies. So don't tell me about Christian values, because they outright ignored the Christian values that you're professing they had. Now, I'm not saying that there weren't real Christians in America. I'm saying they were deceived. So who were they deceived by? I don't know. Let's look at the first president. Yeah, George Washington. Freemason. Now, I'm not going to sit here and give you a history lesson on the Masons, and I'm not going to tell you all about the things that they do and say, and I'm not going to give you my reasons for stating that they're really not a Christian organization, but I will say this. Their motives weren't Christ-like. Now, that's not to say that America's never done anything right. We abolished slavery, didn't we? Bravo. But the fruit of this nation is not good. And Jesus said no good tree can bear bad fruit. Oh, you want to argue about the fruits being good? Okay, well, ask yourself, who's been the chief exporter of pornography, violent films? Who's been the chief exporter of wicked music, and who's led the world astray? Who's told the world that we the people for the people is far more preferred than following the rule of God and being under a king? Now I know it's way too late to go back. We'll never be under a king. England is not even under a king. Not truly. They have a queen, but that's not the point. The point is that I was woken up this election. Previous elections, whether I believed a candidate was Christian or not, if they professed it, I could at least give them the benefit of the doubt. Now, I don't know what you believe the Mormon religion to be, Grunk, but you said you could poke holes through their theology all day long. So I assume you understand that it's not a Christian religion. Does that matter? Well, if it doesn't, then obviously we have a disagreement there, because I fully believe it matters. In fact, without a man of God in the White House, what does that make this nation? Yeah, you can point to Old Testament leaders who were not Jewish and say, well, God worked with them. And most definitely God works with evil leaders today. But when I look at the New Testament, I don't see Jesus going to Caesar and trying to join in on the Roman government, and he sure didn't try to join in with the Pharisees. So I'm not sure where you get this whole patriotic stance from, other than I understand that most of us are conditioned to believe in America. It's truth, justice, and the American way, right? Whatever happened to the way of Christ? Why isn't Jesus in the Declaration of Independence or the Bill of Rights or the Constitution? Where is he? Well, according to the Treaty of Tripoli, we weren't founded on Christianity. If Christian values are good enough for you, well, there are a lot of religions out there that have Christian values. The only thing that they really fall short on is the faith that we have in Christ. But that may be a little thing to you. After all, and I've heard this by many, you're voting for a president, not a pastor. In the end, I agree Romney will be a better president than Obama. But that's a lot like saying, shooting myself in the head is better than slashing my wrist and letting myself bleed out. Either way, you're still dead. In my mind, casting my name behind Romney or Obama would be empowering them and this government to continue the things that I disagree with. When you sit there and profess that America was founded on Christian principles, I just can't see it. I mean, all men were created equal, unless they were black. Well, I forgot about that one, huh? Yeah, it took a while before slavery was abolished. We started off as a racist nation, which I'm sorry, I know Jesus wasn't racist. There's no difference between a Jew or a Gentile in the eyes of the Lord. And I'm sure killing the Indians for land and power, manipulating them, stealing their land, I'm sure that was Christian, right? No, it really wasn't. And today we live in a society where the system that you're participating in has enabled evil, wicked things to rise up and make it right? They got, prayer out of schools, and they're constantly fighting any public expression of Christ. They're empowered by this system that you so strongly want to support. Something about that abortion thing. Oh, yes, the abortion thing. That's a fruit of this nation, too. And let us not forget the world's most powerful military. God bless our soldiers, because I really think that they believe that they're doing His work. I really believe that they think that they're doing the right thing. But in truth, this nation puts so much into killing others. Oh yeah, I know. The military, the logic is, you're so strong that nobody wants to come after you. But all that killing, it can't be good. Remember, King David wasn't allowed to build the temple because of the blood on his hands. How much worse is it going to be for us? I love you, bro, and I'm glad that you have your opinion. I'm glad that you're able to speak it, because a lot of people won't even bother talking about it. They just don't. But when you call me wrong, I feel the need to have to explain to you why I'm not. And I don't believe you see it yet. But I think in time you will. And if you don't, the good news is I don't think this is a salvational issue. You can just see me in heaven and go, wow, I guess you were right. Because the truth is, it's not me, okay? I want to be a patriotic American just like everybody else. I want to get behind the Mormon and douse the Muslim, and I want to straighten everything out too. But you know what? God's telling me, step away and trust. So that's what I'm doing. Well, until next time, happy Jesus Day. God bless and peace out.